about to boss it up and be my own man. Credit Karma say my score around in the six. I heard that paying mortgage way less than paying rent. Equity, tax breaks, make no mistakes. Money piling out, watch my co-workers hate. Anyway, rate increase, no way. Just got a raise on my job, more pay. I'm on Realtor.com, Zillow every day. I think about it all the time on my lunch break. When I want it, best believe I'ma get it. I'ma get me a house, it might take a minute. My boy Los got a BA loan, he a vet. I might holler at him, asking what the next step. I'ma get that, I'ma get that, I'ma get that, I'ma get it.
Hey, what's up, world? This is Ed Averett with the Ava Home Group, Fathom Realty, and welcome to the Process Podcast. Today, our special guest is Patrice with PC Virtual Tutoring. How you doing, Patrice? Welcome to the show.
Well, yes, thanks for having me.
Thank you. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about virtual learning during the pandemic, because as we know, parents are going crazy now, pulling their hair out, trying to get their kids ready for school and with their studies and all of that. So there's help available. Help is on the way. So we're going to talk to Patrice. She has some great programs that can help you with that. Also with career building, if you're looking to reinvent yourselves, she can help with that as well. Again, you know, some people have been saying, hey, what does this have to do with real estate? All of it is basically just a life movement. So I want to help the people just in general. So I think it's my mission. I'm going to take at least one small business a month and showcase them on my show, because small businesses are hurting right now during the pandemic. So this is my way to kind of give back and just to kind of help rebrand small businesses. So Patrice, tell me a little bit about your business.
Yes, so PC Virtual Tutoring and Educational Solutions was officially birthed this May 2020. I have been tutoring on the side for different companies, for myself, a few students here and there. But we offer services in a variety of facets. So as you mentioned, we have K through 12 tutoring for students in all subject areas. We also have the component of pre-college and career planning, even for students that are in college that are looking to pivot. How do I choose my major? How do I continue to fund after my financial aid may have ran out? And then the third component is working with young adults and experienced adults on reimagining their passion points, their careers. Maybe they were laid off. How do I turn some of those transferable skills into a new passion point that I want to go into, but it is not a direct correlation of my prior experience? Or how do I just reimagine myself because I'm not feeling fulfilled anymore at the end of the day? But I've been at this job for 15, 20 years and I'm desperate. It's kind of unnerving jumping out. So we have those three components. I bring in specialists in all of those areas. I oversee those programs, but I don't pretend to be a jack of all trades. I get with the experts out there, bring them in on my team, and we work together to provide those services to help, I like to say, from the womb to the workforce of individuals to catapult into their dreams.
Okay. And you have a strong background in education as well. So it's not like you just rolled out of bed and said, hey, I'm just going to do virtual tutoring. So this is right along the lines of what you've been doing as well. Am I correct in saying that?
Most certainly. I tried to run away from it. Mom was an educator. I actually started tutoring in second grade. Never knew that going back to those times with transferable skills and different things and capacities that it would come back around full circle. But it's been a calling. It's been fulfilling every day. So I've been in education. I like to say actually about 8 years old. That's 29 years ago, but officially certified for 14 years. Working in the various school systems, Duval County, Alachua County, working at the University of Florida. So no, it wasn't just a roll out of bed. It's actually been a stepping stone. When I reflect back on it, everything that I've engaged in has gotten me to the point where I am today and gave me those expertise and courage to be able to move forward.
Good stuff. And you even have your daughter on a plan too, right? She's even starting her own business.
Yes. So it's hard sometimes. I'm a single parent, but with both parents in the household, it's like, how do I live out my dreams and not leave my children or my family behind? And someone told me, it's not about balance. You'll never balance it, but you can merge it. So we found some places where we merged our passion points to actually work together. And for her to start building those transferable skills, and I told her passion points may change over time, but yeah, she has learning kits by Anaya, so I get to bring my expertise and passion. She gets to bring her passion, and she's a young CEO. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I'm seeing a trend of that. I'm seeing a lot of parents gifting their children businesses. You saw LeBron James, his little girl, he just bought her a house. Everybody's not on that level, but it's just
working
showing
to get there.
generational wealth. I love it. What made you want to start this particular business during a pandemic? Not to put your business out there all the way, but you're kind of stepping out on faith as well, right?
Most certainly. Most certainly. As I mentioned earlier, I worked for various tutoring companies while also being a full-time teacher. I've been about, let's say, 7 years ago, 2013, I was a teacher of the year. And I'm going to give you the short version, but someone in our workout class was looking for a tutor. And one of the ladies in the class, Miss Joyce DeLifer, she said, "Hey, we had a teacher of the year in the class. Why not ask her about her services?" So I remember running to my grandmother's house and I said, "Hey, I need to pull my curriculum together." I did a consultation with a parent and I started tutoring, going to libraries. Students would come into my home. I would, go into theirs, daycares, after school, but it was just kind of hit or miss, kind of here and there. 3 years ago, when I moved to Gainesville, I remember my parents of students that I tutored standing at my driveway, and they said, "What are we going to do?" Some of their kids had been with us for a while. And I said, "Well, I interviewed via Skype for University of Florida, so maybe I can tutor that way." But it wasn't something that was normalized so much, not in my mind anyway. And I know some students benefit from that face-to-face close proximity. But I said, "Let's try it." And they were bold enough and believed in me enough to say, "Let's try it." And so I had those 4 students that we did virtual so we could maintain those relationships. And then when the pandemic hit, I started reaching out. I put on my parent hat, my educator hat, and I knew it was a need that needed to be fulfilled. And that's how business started. It was scary. I'm not going to say it wasn't. But I remember for years, my parents, especially my dad, he was like, "It's time. You have the expertise. You've been working hard. This is all you talk about. You're passionate." I talk to people in the grocery stores, but it was still like, where do I start? And when do I start? So this made my aunt, my mom's oldest sister, like Cassie, called me, and I started just posting things out there to say it's time. And so I started going through the steps of how, figuring out how to file my LLC, how to build business processes and systems to make it scalable. Because at that time I was still working full-time mom. I'll never neglect that. And I said, "How do I make this scalable?" And I just started doing it. And parents were like, "We need it." And they just started coming. And I was just saying, I was just staring sometimes like, me, this is really, it just took off. But it's about identifying the teachers, building rapport. And my family knows it's not just about tutoring, it's about being a part of that village. It's about being that safety net. It's about being that liaison, that cheerleader, but also challenging and supporting every one of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the world is changing. So no one asked for the pandemic to happen. So there's a need for this. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of parents they need help with their kids. Maybe they graduated years ago. I don't have any small kids, but I couldn't imagine helping my kids with this virtual learning and all this now because it's been years since I've been to school. So there's definitely a need for this. So. Now, what kind of programs do you have for kids?
So in the K-12 realm, we do virtual tutoring in academic subject areas, but we also provide support for study skills. Some of my parents are like, "My child is intellectual, but they can't get organized enough to be able to exhibit their intellect, and so they're not doing well, especially in a virtual capacity, but even brick and mortar." So we offer not only just the traditional academic subject tutoring, and again, I call it tutoring because that's what's familiar to people, but we're building student confidence first. So those over the summer did a kidpreneurship program. So we do things outside of just the traditional K through 12 linear from A to Z type of learning to help students find a way to make a correlation between the importance of education and how that transpires into the person they become. And shouts out to my team. I started off as a one-person business and I'm up to 8 tutors and looking to bring on more. And so without them, there's no PC virtual because the demand, like I said, went from a few students to a mass of families. And we don't only just offer to come in and tutor with us, but my parents and my family, they know myself, my tutors, they're going to call you. We're going to do check-in. How can we support you in this area? We're checking grade portal. We know parents, it's a lot. You're trying to maintain as an employee, or if you're on a business employer, a parent, it's like you're wearing so many hats. We want to be there to be able to be that liaison, that cheerleader, that safety net. When you're like, I want to do it, I just don't know where to start, or my time is so consumed. How do I support my student? I feel like I'm not doing it right now. So we come up with various personalized based on the students or families' needs outside of just academic tutoring to support those families.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you can do this. You can work with anyone all over the United States as well.
All over the United States. We have students from the East Coast to the West Coast, Florida, Georgia, California, Washington State, Chicago, Illinois. So yes, we are. Hopefully, we'll become international. But yes, across the country because of the nature of virtual. So sometimes I'll see parents that are incorporating traveling experiences with learning. They're driving up the mountain to their resort for the week for their students to learn virtually, and they're doing their tutoring in the back. It doesn't confine you. The students on the way to sports events, they're able to get their tutoring and support that they need to prepare for a test, and it doesn't confine you to a space. So anywhere, any place, we're able to provide our services and support.
Okay. Okay. Do you work with a certain age group, or do you pretty much work with all ages?
All ages. So as mentioned, the K through 12 programs are specifically for that dynamic. With our pre-college and career programming that normally starts around about 7th grade, and then it catapults into that adult realm. They're in their own separate space or sessions that we provide. But I tell parents, let's start early. Let's not wait for senior year to start figuring out applying for college or what the career looks like, because again, it's not as traditional as it was. So as students are going into apprenticeships or the military, and then maybe going to college, thereafter, or they go into starting their own businesses. And so we want to be that full service company that provides that support for the students and adults alike, with them living out not just dreaming, but actually executing their dreams.
Wow, that's amazing. So talk to me a little more in detail about your career counseling and college prep services.
Yeah, so in that case, it's a myriad of things. It gets convoluted because there are, as you mentioned, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle when you separate out a child to go to college. It's financial aid, it's scholarships. If you're looking, can I afford this? It's an investment, but you want to try to come out as far as debt-free as possible. So we help with the scholarship searches, application completion, essays, deciding which college is a good fit for you. Because sometimes it might just be your favorite sports team, but is it really a good fit based on the major or based on the location? So we help parents and students, and with this virtual capacity, a lot of the college tours that we really promote our students go to the campus, become a part of it when it's actually to see if this is a good fit, because environment and fit is important. And it doesn't mean sometimes we don't have to come back and reimagine or pivot because something didn't work out the way we thought. We try to help parents and students to be proactive in that realm. We do different assessments with them in regards to major and career. We all know major does not equal career. Undergrad was in administration and marketing, went into education and curriculum. So we help students have those conversations. Look at their lifestyle. What makes a difference? What are your interests? What are your passion points? If you say, I want to buy this sofa or a house, you know it's a process. But if you're going into this particular realm, it may take longer versus going to school to become a pharmacist, maybe a little bit more time, but the financials may be there. So really getting them to think about the holistic picture. We do, like I said, a myriad of services and assessments and conversations to really get them to start thinking before just jumping into it. Let's try to be proactive and think about your why. What is your why behind it? You know, and that helps you really catapult into where you want to go.
Okay. So you also help, like if someone wants to reinvent themselves. So there's a lot of people that are going through it at work and they're looking to transition and do something different. So you help with that as well. You help with resumes, helping them with their social media, LinkedIn, and all of that. Talk to me about that.
Yes. So in my time of working at the University of Florida, I worked in career development. I became certified as a global career development facilitator. And so I work with, because it's scary. Again, sometimes you've been in a role for years and you're like, you know, I'm just going to retire because it's what I know, it's familiar. It's scary to just totally jump out there sometimes. Right. And so I work with them to, okay, let's do analysis of now what are your passions and different roles that are out there, and how do we make your resume speak to that? Because it's not just because you haven't had that exact title role doesn't mean that you're not a good fit. I help them learn how to pitch and market themselves for those roles, how to have that cover letter, that resume, that interview, speak to that position and why you are the best candidate, even though your prior experiences are not linear. And a lot of it is confidence building. Some of the individuals I work with are 20, 30 years my senior. And they're like, this is all I know. But they're like, when we walk out of these sessions, I'm feeling like the top of the world. And that's my goal, is to be able to pour into others, to believe in themselves, even when it's still that inkling of like, I'm not sure if this is going to work. But just having enough courage to say, why not be? You know, this is something I aspire to do. Like Nike said, just do it. Okay, we want to make sure we have the tools, we can speak to it, we're prepared to do so. And sometimes you just need that coach and that cheerleader. So in those sessions, I'm literally cheering, I'm a dancer at heart. I'm cheering, I'm dancing, I'm getting them excited. I'm getting them speaking positive affirmation, because you speak it, so you are. You believe, so you are. And so even embedded in some of the traditional helping with the resume and cover letters, a lot of it is built from the babies to the adults. They're confident in having it out loud. Write it down. Make a plan. Make it plain. And now go after it.
And I don't know what it is, but somewhere along the road of life, we just forget to dream. We just stop dreaming. We stop believing in ourselves. And we just have to get back to it. You know, and we can do anything. We got to, you know, we were taught that as little kids, and somewhere along the road of life, we just forgot that. So it's good to have good professionals like yourself just re-encouraging and just letting people know that. So is there anything else that you want to tell the people? How can people reach you if they wanted to, use one of your services?
They can reach me at pcvirtualtutoring.com. They can email me at pcvirtualtutoring@gmail.com, or they can give me a ring at 904-228-1892. I want to leave the people with, don't stop dreaming. Become the best version of you. Don't act for permission. Faith over fear. Walk in your calling and believe in yourself. And it's nothing that you cannot do.
Thank you. Thank you for those words of encouragement. And thank you for being on the show. I want to thank everyone. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I want to thank everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. One love.
The rent man done went up on the rent man. He ain't about to get another red cent, man. I'm about to flip the script and change the game plan. I'm about to boss it up and be my own man. Credit Karma say my score around in the 6. I heard that paying mortgage way less than paying rent. Equity, tax.